Hi, this is Bob Wells here, and welcome to Undercurrent Stories. This is the show where we hear about people's interests and uncover some fascinating stories at the same time. I hope you enjoy today's show. In today's show, I'm joined by Alex and Nuria. Alex and Nuria are co-founders of Chillifever from Stamford, Lincolnshire, in England. They describe themselves as chilli growers, small batch fermenters, and producers of Chillifever original fermented hot sauce. My taste buds are going already. And there are more products on the way. So today we're going to learn all about chillies. Hello and welcome to the show, Alex and Nuria.
Hello. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. So thanks ever so much for coming on. Really, really great to have you on. First of all, before we talk about chillies, how was 2020 for you?
I think it was an interesting year, to say the least.
I don't think nobody had a normal 2020.
No, it was certainly unique. Relaxed, quite relaxed. Spent a lot of time in the garden.
Well, we had that really nice weather, didn't we, in the spring?
Yeah, I was really lucky actually. Much better than this year. The spring this year has been a bit cold.
Bit of a shocker, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm wet.
Yeah, very much so. So before we talk about your business and all things chilies, could you just tell us, for both of you, tell us a little bit about your life's journey and how you came into growing chili peppers and making sauces, please?
For me, it was completely an accident. That was all from Alex.
Right.
I'm just go with the flow.
So Alex was the driving force behind, was he?
Yeah, like I'm Spanish. I always live in a flat. I was not really good with plants or anything, but now I'm really good. Thanks to Alex. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks. No, it was sort of like lockdown happened in March 2020, and I don't know what got me to do it, but I decided to just buy some chili seeds.
Yeah.
And we planted them, got a polytunnel, built the polytunnel, and just set them off growing in there over the summer, like looking after them, feeding them, etc. And I think it was a sort of like lockdown thing. And then the intention was to grow the peppers and then make hot sauce for friends and family as a Christmas present.
Oh, yeah.
And then somebody said, like, you should sell this. And I was like, really? And so we just thought, why not? And then here we are, a few months later.
Yeah.
And we've set it up as a company and we've decided to just go for it, you know.
That's a great story. So when you did your polytunnel, how big was the polytunnel?
I want to say 10 by 15 foot.
Yeah.
I think.
Not massive.
No.
Not at the moment, anyway.
Big enough.
Big enough for what we had at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
That we will need definitely another one for the future if.
Yeah. And this is in your garden, is it, or have you got some land somewhere?
Got an allotment in Stamford, and it's just in there, growing some garlic as well for the sauce. Yeah.
What sort of month in last year did you actually plant the first chili seeds that you got?
Oh,
I was quite late there.
It was quite late in the year, yeah. I think it was, I want to say around April.
April, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mid-April.
And when did you start harvesting them?
Oh, it was really late, actually, because they went in the ground late. We lost a couple of months. I think it was the end of summer / autumn when we started harvesting them, and then we didn't really get that many, which was surprising. But we've learned quite a lot from that year.
Yeah, I expect you have. Yeah.
And then this year we started earlier. And
Did
now,
you?
Yeah, but the weather was so bad.
Yeah.
The plants, they didn't do very well.
No. They've been a bit stunted this year because of the cold spring.
Yeah.
I bet they have. But I guess the polytunnel stops them getting so saturated.
Yeah, well, we decided to get we try to get ahead by getting them in, germinating them earlier.
Yeah.
And then we thought they'd be outside in March, early May.
Yeah.
April, March, early April.
Yeah.
We just weren't expecting the cold weather, so they just basically weren't growing because it was so cold outside. But now that the weather's changed, we're seeing some fresh growth on them, which is really good.
Oh, that's good stuff. So in terms of actually growing them, is it something you sort of taught yourselves, or was it something that somebody you knew showed you how to do it, or you read books, or did you just go ahead and do it?
No, I think it was a lot of online reading because lockdown was a lot of free time.
Yeah.
YouTube was a really good resource.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it, for learning stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, literally, it's like the Matrix. You can just
everything is
search for anything and just know all about it in a few hours, which is really good.
And you get these people who spend hours, don't they, teaching you how to do these things, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And do you share the work between the both of you?
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, if I'm at work, Nuria's not at work. She'll go out and tend to the plants, water them, feed them, and then vice versa. If she's at work and I'm not, like today, yeah, and with the sauce as well. Yeah, we switch it up depending who's working and who's not working, and what the daily schedule's like.
Yeah, it's a real team thing then.
Yeah.
You don't have any, and this is a joke here, heated debates about it.
Oh, nice.
You've heard all the jokes, I suppose.
Terrible. Haven't actually heard that one before.
No, I think we'll probably edit that one out.
That's pretty good.
Sorry.
Yeah. Haven't had any heated debates, no.
No. So I'm very intrigued, and I think listeners will be very interested in the history of chilies, because obviously we know chilies get put in curries and all sorts of things like that, and we see them, and they tend to be either red or green. Tell us, are you able to tell us a bit about the origins and the history of chilies and where they originally came from?
Yeah, well, I think it's a common misconception that because people associate hot food with India and curries, but they actually
South
came.
America.
They actually came from South America, Mexico. I think the earliest archaeologists have found evidence of them is up to like 5,000 BC in Mexico,
really?
which is like, that's a long time ago.
Yes.
The Aztec and Mayan civilizations were using them, from what I gather, to cure illness and fumigate houses, which is pretty interesting. I think we can relate to the fumigating the houses when we're cooking the sauce downstairs. The whole house is like reeking of peppers. It's so strong. Yeah,
and are your eyes watering?
If you do stick your head over the pan, you get a face full of that. But then I think Christopher Columbus went out to America, the New World, because he was trying to find a new trade route with Asia. And he found the peppers out there and brought them back to Spain. But it's actually the Portuguese who basically globalized peppers, because they had really good trade routes across the whole world.
Yeah.
And they just took off everywhere, like Africa, China, Brazil, all over the world. And then here we are today.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say about South America, because yes, you do. I think. I thought originally chilies came from Asia with India and everything, but obviously they went to India afterwards. Interesting. And do they use them much in Spain, Nuria?
Well, I don't think so. Like Mediterranean food is not very spicy.
No.
But I quite like it. Like, I need a bit of kick on my food now.
It must be not. Yeah, I suppose. Do you find you with your chili sauce? Do you have it with a lot of things now?
Every time more, yeah.
Every time you cook.
Almost. Like I'd say, depends what we're cooking. I think my favourite is like poached eggs with a bit of the sauce on.
Just to give it a kick.
Yes, it's really nice. Bacon sandwich.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
And then if we're making some vegetable stir fry, just put a bit in there. It just livens up most things, which is quite nice.
Now we're doing as well chili flakes, which will be soon available as well.
Oh, really?
And and the chili flakes, they go in every dish.
Oh, literally everything.
Oh, you just shake a few on.
Yeah, well, you name it, the chili flakes go on there because it's basically a byproduct of the sauce. We just dehydrate what's left after sieving it. And that's the fermented chili flakes, which aren't out yet, but they will be soon.
Oh, that's excellent.
They are so flavouring.
Yeah, well, we'll put all the links on the show notes to your company. So
cool.
If people are interested in buying something, they can do. So before we talk about how you process the food and the business itself, are you able to just? We went very briefly through the growing of the chilies, but can you just tell us the work that is involved in growing them right from the start, right through to when you harvest them, please?
There you go, babe.
That's one for Alex, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we would germinate them. We've got propagation trays.
Yeah.
You put the seeds in little compost discs, and they're like discs of really dry compost.
Yeah.
Hydrate those, put the seeds in, and it's like the perfect environment for the seed to germinate. You put those in the propagation tray and put those on top of some heat mats, seedling heat mats, which are attached to timers. And then we've got some little grow lights which sit above them, and they do really well. We were expecting them to start germinating in 2 or 3 weeks, but some of them were literally coming up like a day or two after we put them in, which was really surprising.
Well, that is, and this part of the process, all the cultivation, is actually in your house or something, is it? Before you go out.
So we germinate them in the house,
in our room,
in the room, and then weather permitting, move them outside to the polytunnel. We call it the graduation. They earn the right to go outside. And then, we repot them. Label them all, of course, because you got to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
Repot them.
Date or something like that, is it?
We just write. We've got a book, and everything goes into the book, and then we label the pots, and then so we know what pot goes. And the seedling trays as well. We label everything, 'cause otherwise you don't know what's what until the peppers actually start coming out. Repot them, give them a bit of food. We use an organic vegetable feed. Yes. Miracle Grow Organic, I think. And then some chili food as well. And then we're watering them about maybe 2 to 3 times. Oh no, sorry. Once every 2 to 3 days at the moment. Because it's not that hot, but when it's peak summer, it's maybe once or twice a day.
Is it? So they're not particularly high maintenance.
No, I'd say they're as far as growing things goes, it's pretty laid back. I mean, because we do them in pots, so there's no weeding, there's no. It's just feeding them. I suppose that's probably the most laborious part. Yeah. Pruning them as well.
And do you know how many sort of plants you've got going at the moment in your polytunnel?
Oh, at the moment, I don't actually know exactly how many. I would say maybe 30 to 40.
Yeah, it's less than last year.
But what we've learned from last year is we've been more selective. Last year we just put them all in and we were like, we must grow everything. But this year we've been a bit more selective about it.
How many plants we got last year?
Oh, far too many.
It was like 70, maybe 60 something.
Maybe, yeah.
So you've got like 65 last year.
So you've decided to have less plants but stronger ones. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're taking the stronger ones through. The ones that are showing good signs, they're bushing up nicely. The stem is splitting into two naturally, loads of leaves. And then all the other ones, which are sort of like really small, stunted, we've just let them move on to a better place.
Have you?
Yeah.
Into
the bonfire. The bonfire. Yeah.
And how many chilies do you normally get on a plant? It's a difficult number to come up, I guess. But is it scores?
Yeah, I would say it depends of the plant as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite a tough one. Last year it wasn't that many. We didn't do very well last year, but this year we're aiming to hit it quite hard because we've, like I said, it's a learning process. We've just kept going. But we're looking at pruning them properly this year. So you can basically make the plant bush up loads by trimming it, cutting the branches in half. So then it makes two branches.
Oh, yeah.
And then they grow, and then you cut both of those, and that makes two more branches. And you make it bush up and bush up. In theory, anyway. See how it goes. But that's the plan. So we're hoping for quite a big harvest this year.
It really sounds that you've had a big learning process on this, and you're very knowledgeable, both of you.
I'm still learning.
Still learning.
Yeah, I bet. And how many types of chilies do you grow?
Quite a few. We've got. I couldn't put a number on it because we've let some go, and then some just haven't done too well, and then others are doing quite well. I'd say maybe 15 different types.
And would they all be used in the sauces, or do you use different chilies for different sauces?
No, we're basically the demand for the sauce has been so high that the original batch that went, but then we had interest from some local shops, and so we decided to go and find some suppliers who import peppers, and we couldn't do it all ourselves in the space that we have. It's a lot of peppers that go into making one bottle. Yeah.
Going back to the chilies themselves and the sort of study that you've done in terms of where they came from and everything, what sort of health benefits would you say chilies have?
They're really good for you. They're packed full of vitamin A and C. Even on the NHS website, they recommend peppers as a source of vitamin A and C. They promote healthy skin. Well, the vitamins promote healthy skin. They boost your immune system, keep your blood vessels good, healthy bone and cartilage. And they taste really good as well.
They do, don't they?
No, they do. I love peppers.
I do.
Full of natural fibre as well, which helps keep things moving.
Yeah. So when you come to harvest them, do they tend to sort of? Do you think they'll be ready all at the same time, or do you do them in batches?
Well, we sort of pick them as they ripen. They don't all just ripen at the same time. Some of the plants we had last year didn't even produce any peppers, which was quite bizarre. But no, we harvest them, and then we basically freeze them until we've got enough to do a batch. Well, that's what we did last year. And then once we've got enough, we'll take them out the freezer, mix them in with fresh peppers, because they've got the lactobacillus on them, the fresh ones. Is that
a type of yeast?
That's the bacteria that the main bacteria that gets the fermentation process going.
Yeah, I must admit, sorry to interrupt you there, but I didn't realise that to make the sauce you would ferment them first. That's quite interesting.
Yeah, well, basically the lactobacillus break down the food into smaller pieces, which allow more flavour to come out. It allows us to taste deeper flavours in the in whatever you're fermenting. So in this case, the peppers, which it's like a different flavour to if you eat a fresh pepper and then you eat a fermented pepper, they taste completely different, and that's because of the fermentation.
Yeah. So it's important to ferment them. You can't just make a sauce without fermenting it.
I suppose you could.
You could if you cook them.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you could. But it wouldn't taste the same.
So is the fermentation a substitute for cooking? Or do you cook them as well?
Well, after everything is being blended, we have to boil the sauce to kill the bacteria.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We take out 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Just to like cook it.
Yeah.
Pasteurize it.
Okay. That's after the fermentation.
That's everything,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And what's next after that? Or have we missed anything out?
I don't think so. Just bottle it.
Well, we basically just so we ferment it. Well, ferment it.
Yeah.
Let it sit there. We leave it for about a month.
After that, blend it up.
Blend it, yeah.
And
then
do you blend it with anything else?
The original hot sauce is literally straight up peppers.
Yeah.
It's literally peppers, salt, and some vinegar. But we're experimenting with other recipes, which are like in the pipeline. But at the moment, the original.
Tell him your new experiment.
Oh,
Lots of product development.
we got. We're trialing a pineapple one.
That sounds nice.
So see how that goes. But we'll know in a month. I'll send you a bottle if you like.
Well, that'd be fantastic. Okay, so you've made the sauce and then you bottle it. In terms of the longevity of it, how long does it last in the bottle?
Pretty long time.
Yeah.
I think once it's cooked, it would. I genuinely think you could leave it sitting there for a year, maybe even more, if you haven't opened it. A long time. We've got a test bottle that we're just leaving to sit there, so we're just monitoring it.
Yeah.
To gauge a sell by date.
Yes.
Because we genuinely don't know how long it would last for. So
we literally just started as well.
Yeah.
But we say in the bottle is once open, just 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep it refrigerated. But I really think it would keep in the fridge for ages because it's quite acidic. We measure the pH and we make sure it's below 3.5, which is safe. It's been pasteurized as well.
Yeah.
So I think it could sit in the fridge for ages. We don't know, if we're honest.
Well, it's interesting. Well, it's a very early days in the evolution of your company, isn't it? So,
yeah. It's only been a few months. We've only been trading for a few months.
Have you? That really is great to hear. Great that you've got something that's come out of lockdown, which is good news.
Yeah. Well, I think that lockdown kind of made it, well, for us anyway, it made us kind of think outside the box, and we just sort of started doing something, and then it was just that little like nudge that you needed. And
it's just great hearing all the good feedback as well.
Yeah, the feedback's been really good.
That's excellent news. And for any listeners who perhaps fancy wanting to grow chilies and they're not in a particular hot country, so they're in Europe, Northern Europe, like we are, for example, what advice would you give them?
Keep them inside.
if it's cold.
Yeah. Greenhouses, I suppose you put them in, can you?
Greenhouse, polytunnel. You could even grow them inside if you got some growing lights.
Yeah.
But if you want to start growing chilies, just go for it. Get them in I'd say February, so late January, February. Start
early in the year.
Yeah, start them early.
Yeah.
And just get them going. Be prepared to spend a bit of money. You need pots, soil, plant food, maybe some lights, depending. If you're in a really cold place, then yeah, keep them inside. But just go for it. If you think about it, just go for it.
Now the company itself, Chillifever, where did you get the name from?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just came out.
It just came to you.
Yes.
You had to have a name, so you thought, I know. Chillifever.
Yeah.
We were one day just doing nothing. And we were like thinking about the name. I was like, what can be other like
It's a great name.
Chilli, and then Chillifever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got the Chillifever. So yeah,
Excellent. And you mentioned that I think you mentioned earlier on that you were starting to bring some other chilies in as well to enhance the amount of products that you're producing. Is that right?
Yeah.
So you can actually make more sauce.
Yeah, we literally couldn't grow that many peppers in the space that we have. But yeah, we're going around wholesalers, getting the freshest peppers we can get, fermenting them and then bottling it up. But we're constantly on the lookout for local suppliers. We want to keep as much of it like local as possible going forward. It's just for now that's what we've got to do what we've got to do. But I think that one problem that we've kind of had is we're so small that the sort of like big suppliers don't really want to deal with us because we're not wanting like
10,000 tons of peppers.
Yeah, basically, yeah. The numbers we're talking about are too small for them, so we're just building it up and we'll get there eventually. I guess
there must be some of those big companies that deliver Arctic loads of peppers to people. There must be some of those people they deliver to who might be interested in perhaps breaking it down for you. Perhaps have you thought about that?
Haven't thought about that. No. No, that's an interesting point. We found. Well, I was just looking earlier and found this massive pepper farm down in, I think it's near Plymouth. That they produce like 1/3 of the UK's peppers.
Wow.
So I think that might be a good stopping point.
So a holiday to the southwest is due this year, is it?
I think
it looks like yes.
A long overdue holiday, yeah.
With somebody tending the plants in your absence, I guess.
Yeah.
So what plans do you have for Chillifever going forward? You mentioned about the chili flakes.
Yeah.
As another product. What other plans have you got?
And then we want to do the original sauce as well, like hotter and
a hotter sauce.
Hotter sauce as the original one, and then a mild one.
Yeah, mild one.
Mild one, yeah.
Yeah, because people obviously got different palates, haven't they?
Yeah, like for example, for me, the original one is like perfect. Yeah, depends. Like Alex, he loves heat like so much.
Yeah, a really hot one.
Yeah, like until he's like sweating and he kind of breathe like really bad, but he keeps going.
Yeah,
and then we would like to do another flavor. Like if the pineapple one goes well, maybe try to do like a big batch of that one as well and see how customers, if they like them or see how it goes.
Maybe a blueberry one as well.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to experiment with all these different flavours. And it's great that you've got some local businesses that are interested in taking your products as well, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, we are really thankful. It's Annabelle in All Good Market in Stamford. Yeah, she's always asking for more. And apparently the customers go to the shop really like as well, which we are really pleased.
Again, repeat customers, which is really encouraging.
Yeah.
Is the sauce available at the moment, or will we have to wait for the harvest?
It is available, online at chillifever.com.
Excellent.
There's only a few bottles left. We've been selling out pretty fast, but got a few bottles left of the last batch, and then there's another one in now, so there's more on the way.
Soon another one,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And how can the sauce be used in recipes and with other foodstuffs?
It's like a sort of like just add it in. Like it's whatever you're making, just bang a bit of it in.
It would be good for pasta, for pies. Like I think it's go perfect with everything. It's very flavory. Yeah. It's really, really nice.
It is really good. Pasta sauce. Like I said earlier, on eggs, I like boiled eggs with a runny yolk and just put a bit of it in the yolk and then dip toast into it. That's quite nice.
That sounds pretty delicious, I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry now. I haven't had my dinner yet. So.
Same.
Yeah. You'll be having chili sauce with your dinner, no doubt.
Yeah. Weirdly, tuna mayo sandwich with a bit of the hot sauce in.
Ooh,
sounds
really?
Weird, but...
Yeah, we had it with the sauce on the flakes as well, yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So what's next for you? You obviously, you've had a reasonably successful first year. You're still enthusiastic about it. You're growing the business. Is this something that's going to become? I guess at the moment it's fairly artisan. Would you say?
It's definitely artisan.
Yeah. But do you plan to get very big? How big do you want to get?
That's a tough question.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
It's a hot question, isn't it?
Nice. Very hot question.
I mean, for me, it will be good. Like one day, just live with this.
Just keep it. I don't know. We're just taking it as it comes. I think we're gonna, as we do bigger batches, approach. We kind of haven't really considered supermarkets like the big ones, but kind of like delicatessens and small local shops rather than big ones. Just see what happens. We're just going down the road.
Have you thought about any other not non-chili related products that you might do, as you quite enjoy what you're doing, growing it and processing it? Have you thought about any other products from different plants?
We've thought of a few other things. I'd like to burger sauce.
Oh yeah.
Maybe some mustard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely scope for more stuff.
And you both get involved in the actual cooking / processing of the product, do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, it's us.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do it together.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just Alex. Sometimes it's just me. It depends.
I think the most laborious part, I think, is I'd say chopping
all the peppers. It's so many peppers.
So many peppers.
It takes so long.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you have to have sort of plastic gloves on or anything? Or rubber gloves?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have very sore hands, I guess.
Yeah.
Then you cannot touch anything.
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever accidentally rubbed your eye after?
Yes.
I've done that as well. It's not nice, is it?
Bit painful.
Not at all.
Yeah. So that's the most laborious part, is it?
I'd say so. Or I think another one, which is when you sieve it, that whole process of we just need bigger equipment because we're just using kitchen stuff at the moment. We just need bigger equipment,
like restaurant equipment.
Yeah, like catering stuff. Yeah.
That's one of the next steps in the plan, is it?
Maybe a bigger blender as well.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's really good to hear about your business and how you've been doing over the last year, and wish you very well for the future.
Thank you.
Yeah, and pleasure.
It's been great to have you on. Thank you ever so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You have been listening to Undercurrent Stories. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to share the show link to your friends and family, and if you have 60 seconds, I would be most grateful if you would please rate and review. To hear more episodes, please subscribe to the show and visit undercurrentstories.com. If you leave your email in the link, we will notify you as soon as new episodes are released. Also, check out our social media links, details of which can be found on the show notes. Until next time, this is Bob Wells wishing you all the very best.